Hi, I'm Joni Patry and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about an up-and-coming conjunction that will have major effects around the world. It's already started. And this conjunction involves the Jupiter-Rahu conjunction that will be exact around the end of this January 2016. This will start the year out with a big bang. Because let me tell you, this conjunction is going to change many aspects of the world and how we perceive things. To analyze a conjunction such as this, we have to analyze what sign it's in and also what nakshatra it's in. So we're looking at this conjunction occurring at 29 degrees of Leo. It's very significant that it's 29 degrees. Because this is the last degree of a sign. It's what we call Sandhi. It's like right before the change, transition. And another thing that makes this particular conjunction so powerful is the fact that Jupiter is stationing before it goes retrograde. So when a planet goes retrograde, it's moving forward and then it stops to begin its journey backwards. So for the entire month, Jupiter will remain approximately about 29 degrees of Leo, exactly conjunct Rahu that just shifts into Leo, because remember Rahu travels backwards, Rahu and Ketu, so when it just enters into the sign of Leo, there it will be situated with Jupiter and remain there for a long duration. So Jupiter is expansion, Jupiter is growth in its opportunities. Rahu magnifies whatever it is conjunct. So you may think, well, how can this be bad? Jupiter's a great benefic. Let me remind you of something. Rahu will deal with extremes. And Rahu was conjunct Jupiter on September 11th. So my point with this is that it wasn't all wonderful and great things like you may think. But this conjunction happens more than you think. Probably Jupiter comes around, it's going to probably be around every 14 or so years, but 13 years. But let me tell you, this particular conjunction in the sign of Leo, the very last time it occurred in Leo, was in 1979. So if you go back to those days, you can find many things were happening, particularly with the Middle East. Iran, the crisis with Iran that we had here in the United States, that that was the problem with oil and the problem with war, and back then it was a dangerous time. And this time again, it's going to be a very dangerous time. And talking about what, again, we're involved with, the Middle East is going to have major upsets and major problems. And because this is occurring in the sign of Leo, what does Leo rule but leaders? Leo is ruled by the sun, which represents presidents and leaders. And my prediction is there is going to be a great fall for a leader in the world that is going to make an enormous difference. Could be a great fall and a great rise. And this will be what changes the world in consciousness and awareness. Now, Rahu represents great fear, and coming together with Jupiter, it is creating and is already creating great fear throughout the world. Fear of terrorism, fear of death and chaos, and what is going to be on the other side of all this. So everyone in this world, even in their daily lives, are consumed with fear because of this conjunction in Leo. And let me tell you, going back to the world leadership, this conjunction will there will be a leader in the world that will have to step down, or will be forced down, or just simply eliminated. So this is what I'm talking about. But another thing I have noticed in world leaders' charts, whenever their chart is affected by a configuration such as this, a very strong configuration, that I've found that their country is what goes into turmoil, maybe not necessarily the leader. And I've seen this to happen in president's chart, such as the President Hollande of France. His chart was very, very detrimental. I wrote about this in my Astrologic magazine, astrologic.com magazine. So I write about world leaders and events. But what you can expect is the fear. So what I wanted to tell people is it's time to realize that Rahu is the head of the dragon. And in the whole myth, you know that the Rahu and Ketu were the dragon who drank the nectar of immortality. Before they realized, the gods, they sliced Rahu and Ketu, which was the serpent, in half. And what became of it is Rahu became the head. So what that's all about is the head, which is Rahu, deals with our mind and our thinking, and we can become overly consumed with thoughts of fear. How can we alleviate what's going on in the world? We have to eliminate the fear within ourselves, because remember, you have no control over other people, but you have the utmost control over you and what you're thinking. So in these times of great fear and turbulence that are upon us, I want you to realize that the way to eliminate this fear in the world is through changing yourself. The way that we can change is to come from a place where we are kind and we are grateful and thoughtful and help one another. Because it's when we distance ourselves that we become more fearful in our lives. When we alienate ourselves from other people, our mind can conjure up more fear than we can imagine. So take this time to contemplate on what you're grateful for, what you're here to do, and how you can help other people. Acts of kindness can do so much to heal this terrible fear-based pressure that Rahu and Jupiter coming together will cause, because the world is going to change from this. But ultimately, it will always be about something that it's bringing about that will be better, because things have to end. When one door closes, another door opens. And that's what I see happening for all of humanity through this powerful conjunction of Rahu and Ketu. So with this, I'd like to close, but look forward to many more videos that are going to pertain to this, particularly to you individually and to the mass consciousness in the world. Thank you.